Are you considering a claims-made malpractice policy or already have one? If so, you've likely heard about something called tail coverage. Tail coverage is a critical part of any claims-made policy, one that can protect you long after your policy ends. In this video, we'll look at exactly what tail coverage is, why it matters, and how it works with your policy. So stay tuned to learn everything you need to know about tail coverage. Welcome to Insurance by Dentist, where we are dedicated to educating and simplifying insurance for dental professionals. My name is Orrin Pearson, Vice President at Insurance by Dentist and author of Insurance for Dentists Malpractice Edition. Thank you so much for joining me today. We bring brand new videos to you every week, so if you enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more content. Let's jump right into today's topic, tail coverage. I want to start with the question, what is tail coverage and why would you need it? Well, think of tail coverage like a liability insurance extension plan. You might also see it called an extended reporting period. Essentially, it's an option you can buy after you cancel or let your policy expire. With tail coverage, if a claim is filed against you after your policy ends for something that happened while your policy was still active, you're still protected. Now, tail coverage can either be purchased as a supplement to your existing policy or as your only form of liability insurance, such as when you're retiring and no longer need an active policy. Now, to understand tail coverage, I want to do a high-level overview of occurrence and claims-made policies. Occurrence policies cover any incident that occurs during the policy period, regardless of when a claim is actually filed. If an event takes place while the policy is in force, it remains covered even if the claim surfaces years later. I now want to illustrate tail coverage with an example. Imagine a dentist has a claims-made professional liability policy, in effect from January 1st, 2020 to December 31st, 2022. The dentist retires on December 31st, 2022 and cancels the policy on that same day. On April 1st, 2023, a former patient files a claim alleging that the dentist's treatment in August of 2022 caused unexpected complications. Although the procedure took place during the active policy period, the claim is being reported after the policy is ended. Without tail coverage, there would typically be no coverage because the claim is not filed until after the policy's expiration date. However, if the dentist had purchased tail coverage, the claim could still be covered. Tail coverage provides a vital safety net for any claims that surface after a professional stops practicing or leaves a policy, so long as the alleged incident occurred during the original policy term. So now, when do you need tail coverage and when do you need to buy it? Dentists typically need tail coverage when they end or switch a claims-made professional liability policy. Examples include retiring from practice, transitioning from one practice to another, or changing insurance carriers. In any of these scenarios, there can be a gap in protection if a claim arises after the policy ends for an incident that occurred while the policy was still active. Tail coverage bridges that gap by extending the time during which claims can be reported, ensuring that dentists remain protected for past services. Retirement is a common situation that calls for tail coverage, as claims might surface long after a dentist has stopped practicing. Many insurance carriers even offer free tail coverage to retiring dentists who have maintained continuous coverage with the same company for a certain length of time. This time can be often 5 years. However, these specifics can vary widely. Some carriers may require a higher minimum coverage period, a certain retirement age, or a claims-free record. Likewise, even when a dentist simply changes carriers mid-career, perhaps to secure more favorable terms or premiums, tail coverage may be necessary to maintain continuous liability protection. This addresses the unique nature of claims-made coverage, preventing professionals from facing uncovered claims that could emerge once their main policy is no longer in effect. Now, how long should tail coverage last? Well, the duration of tail coverage can vary significantly depending on the policy and the insurer offering it. Some tail coverage periods may cover only a set number of years, such as 1, 3, or 5 years, while others can last indefinitely. In many cases, a dentist might have options to purchase different lengths of tail coverage, typically with varying premium cost. Ultimately, the chosen duration should align with a dentist's risk profile and the likelihood that a claim could arise from past treatments well after the regular claims-made policy has expired. Now, how much does tail coverage actually cost? Well, the cost of tail coverage can be substantial, as many insurers calculate its premiums based on the percentage of the dentist's last active annual policy premium. This means that tail coverage might range from roughly the same cost as the annual premium to several times that amount. This depends on the policy's terms and duration. For instance, some insurers may charge around 100 to 200% or more of the final annual premium for an unlimited reporting period, while limited tail coverage for a shorter time frame can be more affordable. Now, several factors influence the price of tail coverage. This includes the dentist's specialty, past claims history, and the overall risk profile associated with the practice. The more complicated or higher risk the specialty, or the more extensive the claim history, the higher the cost is likely to be. Additionally, geographic location can also affect premiums, as state laws, regional practice standards, and market conditions all shape the risk landscape. Because of these variables, it's wise to compare quotes from different insurers and evaluate how each tail option aligns with personal risk management needs. I now want to take a step back and point out something that I think is important for you to understand. And that is, when you're going to buy an occurrence or claims-made policy, you need to consider the cost of tail coverage when you're doing the calculations on the price. This is because an occurrence policy costs more up front than a claims-made policy, but an occurrence policy does not need tail coverage. Now, we explained that a tail coverage costs around 100 to 200% of your annual premium. With typical cost of a malpractice policy being anywhere to $2,000 to $3,000, this means that your tail coverage at the end could be potentially $4,000 to $6,000. So you need to calculate that in when you're looking at the cost of your policies. So if you plan on having a policy for a short amount of time because you're looking at making a transition, then occurrence policy will probably be better because you won't have to buy tail coverage at the end. And that's important because you might think an occurrence policy would be more because of the annual policy premium, but because of tail coverage, it would make claims made more expensive. Now, we have a whole video on this, occurrence versus claims made policies, and I'll put it in the description below. So if you want to explore this concept in greater detail, please check out that video. Alrighty, I'm going to wrap it up there, as we've covered a lot of information on tail coverage and why it's so important to you, especially if you have a claims-made policy or plan on getting one in the future. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe for more content. We bring brand new videos to you every single week. And if you want to take a deeper dive into dental malpractice insurance, please check out my book in the description below. It covers everything you need to know about dental malpractice insurance. My name is Warren Pearson, Vice President at Insurance by Dentist. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next video.